around somewhere. I don't know where she went, but she's here somewhere. And we are starting up slowly. What's up, Karen? What's up, Anna? I hope everybody is well. What's up, Spider? What's up, Misanthropic Cat? I have a misanthropic cat wandering around somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. She's not misanthropic. She actually likes people an awful lot. But I don't know where she is. She's rummaging around here somewhere. Lucy, where are you? Come hang. It's Get Your News On with Ron time. Placoninator. I like it. What's up, Tim? Moose Gal, my favorite YouTuber, and his cat. Howdy. Thank you very much for that. Good to see you. Anna, you got the notification. That's awesome. DLJ, hello from Malaysia. What's up, Al? What's up, George Allen? What's up, Jennifer? Good to see everybody. We had a beer in Arizona. Yes, we did. Yes, and we're coming back, by the way. Looks like we're coming to Arizona, the Arizona area in January. Graham Elwood and myself. Where do you want to see us? What's up, Austin? I hope everybody is well. So, to get things started here, we got a lot to talk about today. Some of it is going to be pretty heavy and pretty hard to take because we got a little bit of a follow up on Jeffrey Epstein. But to start out today, Ted Cruz was in the Los Angeles, almost stumbled there, Los Angeles airport, LAX, and it didn't go so great for him here. Let's check this out.
We do with the better now. Free the children. Americans will not be silent. 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 Free the children. 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 Free the children.
They have it. Wow, Ted Cruz not getting a warm welcome in Los Angeles, not getting a warm welcome at the LAX airport. This is what it's going to take, by the way. And what are they protesting about? They're protesting about children in cages. That's what they're protesting. And they were peaceful. There was nothing violent there. It was a peaceful protest. It was a vocal protest. Protests are supposed to be quite vocal. So good for them. Good for them. This is what needs to happen in stuff like this. People need to protest. They need to get out in the streets. And they need to let leadership know. They need to let leadership know big time. So good going, LAX. Now, we're going to go to Jeffrey Epstein first. Because I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a warning here, or however you want to put it. This is not going to be easy to read or watch. But what's going on right now in the Jeff Epstein case, which of course there's so much we're in the dark about. Even just what came out last week where he was found in his cell, we don't know exactly what happened. Was it just a suicide attempt like they said, or was it something else? We don't know for sure. Was it something that he did on his end to be under higher security? All this speculation is valid speculation, and the media really didn't help here because I don't know if y'all noticed, there wasn't a consistent story. Some media outlets were saying he was found unconscious. Other media outlets were saying he was found crying in a fetal position. Well, which one is it? You're either unconscious or you're crying in a fetal position. You can't be both. Was he unconscious while crying in a fetal position? Well, how did they know he was unconscious? You see how there's some questions here. So what's been going on now is that we keep hearing about this Victoria's Secret connection. Meanwhile, there's something going on in Florida where they've been uncovering videos from his teen victims. And these are videos from all the initial investigations. This is not easy to read or watch. I'm telling you right now. This stream will be demonetized. I'm telling you right now. It probably already is. You're not, even if you're just, talking about stuff, reporting on stuff, engaging in commentary, just because the topic of Jeff Epstein is brought up, this stream will be demonetized because somehow YouTube can't have an exemption list for people who engage in commentary and content. They can't have an exemption list for that somehow. So this stream will be demonetized. But here we go. So this is gross. We're going to go to the article. So new police videos released of teen victims who first accused Jeffrey Epstein. Let's go ahead and watch it.
Go ahead. Wear white fearlessly for 40% whiter whites than chlorine bleach. OxyClean White Revive.
I am conducting an ongoing investigation for quite some time now on a subject by the name of Jeffrey Epstein.
When Palm Beach police began interviewing teenagers in 2005, they were astonished at what dozens told them about Jeffrey Epstein.
Every girl that meets Jeffrey starts off with giving him a massage. The more you do with him, the more you make. Basically, if you take off your clothes, you're going to make more. If you let him do things to you, you're going to make more.
Like do things, you mean touch you?
Yeah, touch you in inappropriate places.
This girl says she was recruited to go to Epstein's when she was 16, but she wouldn't do everything Epstein wanted.
I did it naked, but I wouldn't let him touch me or anything like that. So after that, he's like, you know what? He's like, listen, I'll pay you $200 for every girl that you bring to me.
So she started telling other girls, most disadvantaged from broken homes, who needed money, that there was a way to make it if they weren't too squeamish.
She's like, oh, do you need to make any extra money? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I can give you, $200. It's this older guy in Palm Beach. He gets a lot of massages from girls. That's all she told me.
It's like a train. It's like I introduce them to all my friends. They'll bring her friends, and then she'll bring her friends. It goes on and on.
Did Jeff know anybody's real true age, or he didn't care?
I don't think he cared. He told me the younger the better.
Wow. The younger, the better. All right, let's go to the article, see what else is here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear. Like it's just, imagining this guy preying on young women who are in a desperate situation, and wow. All right, so let's see what else this article says. So this news outlet in Palm Beach obtained a video of police conducting a search of his house after months of investigation. And what they found corresponded with what every girl had described, down to the pink spiral staircase, the kitchen entrance, and the bathroom, a quote with a massage table, oils, and sex toys. Every teen said Epstein came in wearing only a towel and instructed them to undress. He asked me to take my shirt off, so I took off my shirt. And that time, that was it, said one teen. Did you ever take your panties off and be completely nude? Asked the detective. Occasionally, yeah. Police found nude photos of what appeared to be underage girls on walls of the bedrooms and bathrooms. One girl described Epstein having sex slaves and models always at the house, some living there. He has girls in and out of there all the time, different girls, different models. Okay. And now keep in mind, this is just him, by the way. This is just what he does. The quote industry he partook in. We have no clue how extensive that was or how extensive it is. It's still going on without him. And I'm curious to know what we're going to find out, if much of anything. We don't know if he's going to stand trial. We don't know if he's going to make it to trial or not. And if he doesn't, we may never really be able to say without a doubt why he didn't. And again, I don't stand by one theory or another. I'm just saying, look, it's hard to just take the official story at face value when you know just how extensive what this guy is involved with is, or at least we have a modicum of an idea of how extensive all this stuff is. Who does he have dirt on? Who doesn't he? I have no idea. We know he rubbed elbows with Trump. We know he rubbed elbows with the Clintons. All of them. And this is just stuff that's coming to the surface about what he did. Just him. And even this, we're not hearing a ton about it on the media. They're not talking about it very much. I mean, you're hearing a little bit here and there. But mostly they're just trying to tie him to bigger things. The big headline today, as of the recording of this, is what's going on with his connection to Victoria's Secret. Meanwhile, it's like, here's also police videos of what was actually going on and what he actually did. And here's some eyewitness testimonies. And it's just a handful of local outlets talking about this. So again, I don't know how much we're going to find out or not find out before all this is over. I do know it gets more repulsive and disgusting by the day. There is a huge industry around pedophilia, around underage women and sex trafficking. And it is absolutely disgusting and appalling. And you know, if you talk to anyone who investigates this stuff, your stomach will turn within a few seconds. So that's something that's been going around today for an update on this stuff. And again, it's tough to talk about. I mean, it's just insanely disgusting. And I guess we'll just watch it unfold and try to make sense of it as it's unfolding the best we can. That's all I can do. So here's something going on with Amazon. Amazon told police it has partnered with 200 law enforcement agencies. Why'd they do that? Ring's partnerships with law enforcement could be far more widespread than previously reported. At least 200 law enforcement agencies around the country have entered into partnerships with Amazon's home surveillance company Ring, according to an email obtained by Motherboard via public record request. Ring has never disclosed the exact number of partnerships that it maintains with law enforcement. However, the company has partnered with at least 200 law enforcement agencies, according to notes taken by a police officer during a Ring webinar. It's possible that the number of partnerships has changed since the day the email was sent. The officer who sent the email told Motherboard that the email was a transcribed version of handwritten notes that he took during a team webinar. So what's going on here is that there's this Ring service where when somebody comes to your door, they're on video. And this is, this can be extensive. This can be all over a neighborhood. Amazon has access to all of that. They have access to your face. They know where you're going. Now, again, we've been talking about facial recognition, why it needs to be banned, how there have been report after report of people saying, this doesn't make us safer. This really doesn't make us safer. First of all, facial recognition itself is incredibly faulty, and that's putting it generously. There has been a report in England, a study they did, a controlled study, where it was faulty 98% of the time. It has a racial bias. Minorities, people of color, are often misidentified. And it's already been abused. Police are searching these databases of photos without warrants, without probable cause. That's already happening. There have been some reports where people are using it to try to find information on an ex. That's what law enforcement's doing. ICE is using this. And the companies participating in this, which Amazon is one of them, Microsoft's another, they're willing to sell this to private businesses. These private entities can do whatever the hell they want with it. Transparency be damned. And here's for instance, where there are 200 law enforcement agencies coupled up with Amazon And they have all of our photos. Oh, and by the way, you know another thing about this? It's very easily hackable. There have already been attacks. There was a Borders and Protection Agency that got hacked not too long ago. And tons of travel photos just hacked, just completely hacked. So if there's a database of all of our driver license photos that are then that are utilized for facial recognition specifically, and that's utilized by law enforcement and ICE and 200 other agencies, and Amazon's participating in this, and they're willing to sell it to whomever, that's just waiting to be hacked. And who knows what other information they got in there. And, you know, there's something you can do about all this and stuff connected to it. You can go to ban facial recognition right now. And that's something I'm collaborating on with Fight for the Future, by the way. Full disclaimer, go to banfacialrecognition.com and sign the petition to let your lawmakers know. 3 cities have already banned this: Oakland, California, San Francisco, California, Somerville, Massachusetts. This isn't going to put an end to all this stuff, but it's a heck of a good start. banfacialrecognition.com. Sign that petition. All right, so there's more shenanigans from Amazon. They're looking out for us. All right, so here's something. I'm not sure what's going on here. Somebody tweeted this to me, but I guess Lil Nas is not a Pete Buttigieg fan. You're not saying his name right. I can't take you seriously. You're saying his name wrong. My pearls are being clutched. Pete Buttigieg. I just did it again. What are you going to do? 5 Pete Buttigieg fans that exist. All right. Lil Nas Ex shuts down Mayor Pete Buttigieg Old Town Road collaboration. What's going on here? 2020 candidate was set to recite the lyrics to the chart-topping mega hit for a BuzzFeed event, but the singer nixed the idea. Oh, man. Lil Nas Ex has collaborated with the likes of Billy Ray Cyrus, Keith Urban, BTS, and Young Thug. But there's apparently one collaboration he would not have: Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Okay, why? The crossover pop star responsible for the mega hit Old Town Road, currently shattering records on the Billboard Hot 100, was the headlining act at a live variety show hosted by BuzzFeed in New York. The event, titled Internet Live, featured performances from Lil Nas Ex, along with appearances from internet celebrities, Broadway singers, and the stars of Jersey Shore. Man, really bummed out I missed that. That's... You know, I was next to the situation once at a college performing conference. So when you perform at a lot of colleges, you work with an organization called NACA, the National Association for Campus Activities. And what you do is you submit to showcase at one of their conferences. They do regional conferences all over the country where student buyers come and they watch different performers perform, and they see everything from comedians to musicians to jugglers to escape artists to vocal a cappella groups. You get the idea. And they see all these showcases for a couple of days. It's basically like a big college approved like performing arts festival in a way. And then if they like you, they'll book you to come to campus, and you're there with your agent, and you have a booth where they get to meet you and stuff. And sometimes there's just celebrities there for whatever reason. One year, my booth where I showcased was right next to the situation from the Jersey Shore. And he was a nice guy. I mean, I said hello to him a couple times because he was just there. But he did nothing. Like, he didn't do anything. He just stood there. Like, he didn't showcase. He was just there. It was like, hey, here's this dude. And he would come to campus and just talk about something. Like, I don't know what he talked about, but he just stood there and did nothing. And at this point, Jersey Shore was off air for a little bit. So he didn't have many people coming up to him. Occasionally there'd be somebody who was like, I'm such a big fan. But the rest of the kids were like, I don't know who that is really. Not that, I mean, less people knew who I was. Believe me, nobody knew who I was. I was just the random dude that they might have saw showcase and liked it. But anyway, so Lil Nas, let's get back to him. All right. So the event titled, all right. At one point, BuzzFeed, all right. But the mayor wasn't the only 2020 candidate in talks to appear on the program. Okay. So why didn't he? Buttigieg was pinched on the preliminary idea of appearing via video, reciting the lyrics to Old Town Road in some form of collaboration with the surging pop star. But according to sources, the plan was foiled when Lil Nas Ex rejected the proposal. The singer was not opposed to Buttigieg personally, sources said, but instead told BuzzFeed News that he did not want to be seen as endorsing a particular candidate in the race. Good for him. Good for him. Now here's what Pete Buttigieg said about it. 37-year-old mayor has said that he's a fan of the young rapper's work and embrace his decision to come out as gay. As a fan, I'm thrilled and inspired to see him standing in his truth as a member of the LGBTQ community. That's awesome. Welcome to the family, says Buttigieg. And good for him. Good for him. First of all, I'm not a fan of Pete Buttigieg. You know that about me. I like calling him Pete Buttigieg, like Count Chocula. I have fun doing it. I'm not a fan of his politics at all. But in this particular, for instance, I'll give him a thumbs up for handling that gracefully, and bigger thumbs up to Lil Nas Ex for being upfront and for not. Look, Lil Nas Ex knows that he has influence, and he's like, look, I don't know. I mean, and maybe he's not familiar with Pete Buttigieg, or maybe he isn't a fan but wanted to be polite about it. It's not entirely clear according to this article. I think it's likely he just might not be familiar. Maybe he's not paying a ton of attention to the race yet, or maybe he is. He's just not. Hey, there's a million. I mean, there is a clown car full of. If I had to load all the Democratic nominees into my apartment, we wouldn't be able to fit them all. It'd be very cramped. It'd be very cramped. And I'd be like, do you want some more derbs? Can I give? I want to be a polite host, but really, there's only a couple of you that I actually want to talk to. Rest of you, I'd be fine if you weren't here anymore. I'd be fine if you weren't here. Stop touching my skateboard, Beto O'Rourke. I don't like you. I don't. But either way, you know, whatever his reason is, he's being upfront that it's like, hey, I'm not endorsing this guy. I have nothing against him personally, but I don't want to be seen endorsing someone. Did he not endorse him because he's not really familiar with a lot of the candidates yet? Maybe. Did he not endorse him because he's not a fan of his politics? Maybe. Either way, that's the right move. Lil Nas, hey, I'm a really influential person. I'm not going to be seen endorsing a candidate over another. And maybe in the future, Lil Nas X will endorse somebody. I mean, I'll be honest, full disclaimer, I'm not familiar with Lil Nas X's politics. Like, I have no idea where he's at politically. So. All right. So here's something very interesting going on in the First Amendment world. We're going to go here now. So this happened in Ohio. So apparently there was this guy in Ohio who had a website, and it was on Facebook, and it was a parody of the police department. And it was very, very harsh on police. He was very upfront with that. This is not a fan of law enforcement, and it was very biting. But it also made it clear it was a parody. Well, they tried to put this guy in jail for that. This guy had a Facebook page, and it was a parody of his local police department. They tried to put him in jail for it. That didn't work. But now here's the deal. He's able to sue. Here's what's going on. Man charged with felony over cop mocking Facebook page is allowed to sue the cops. Okay. So an Ohio man charged with and acquitted of a felony over a satirical Facebook page mocking his local police department can sue both the city and the police who tried to send him to prison. The officers clearly violated his constitutionally protected right to free speech. So, and here is what his lawyer had to say. We have not only the right to criticize government, but to mock it mercilessly. So here's what they tried to charge him on, by the way, because this was something I was curious about. I mean, clearly, we do have the First Amendment here in the United States. So what did they try to get this guy on? Here's what they tried to get him on. Nuvok sued the city of Parma and its police in September 2016, a month after he was acquitted of felony charges of disrupting, interrupting, or impairing police services. So that's something worth noting there. If you have a Facebook page criticizing your police department, and it's parody and it's satire and it's identified as such, you could be charged with, here, let's look at that again. Let me full screen it so you guys can see it too. They can try to charge you with disrupting, interrupting, or impairing police services. You made a page on Facebook. That's all you did. You made a page on Facebook. And they're trying to get him with disrupting, intimidating, or they tried to, rather. It's in the past. He was acquitted. But they're trying to get him on disrupting, intimidating, or impairing police services. That's what can happen to you if you make a Facebook page parroting your police force. Now, it didn't work. He was acquitted. He's suing them now. I hope he sues them and gets every penny he should be entitled to. I hope he wins tenfold. And I hope that it's the police department directly that foots the bill and not taxpayers. I think whoever brought forth the loss, or whoever tried to make this happen to him, whoever brought him to court, whoever was responsible for that, whoever tried to prosecute him, probably department higher-ups or something like that, they should be the ones to face the consequences. They wanted to put him in jail for 18 months. Oh, and by the way, here's another fun part. The Facebook page was live for 12 hours. A Facebook page up for 12 hours, parroting the police force. They tried to throw a guy in jail for 18 months over that. They didn't succeed. And I really hope this department faces consequences for this, because if they don't, police departments are going to try to do this again. They're going to try to do this again. Man, that biting sting of satire. I know you might be thinking, man, the police, they're shooting unarmed people, they're killing people, they're over-militarized, but have you come into contact with the dangers of a parody page on Facebook? Man, that's dangerous. I wonder if this guy in Ohio has any plans on distributing memes in 2020. He might be able to sway the election. I hope he realizes the power that he has. Unbelievable. All right. So here's something. So Christina shares this. I've only seen the headline, and it's a peculiar headline. I don't know what exactly is going on here, but I'm very curious to find out. This is going to be some weird news for the day. Although I guess we've kind of had a pretty weird theme thus far in the show. Everything that we covered has been a little odd. Some more heavy than others as far as what we've covered so far in the show. But check this out. So let me scroll down. Okay, that's a nice full screen ad they threw at us. Trump supporters are furious that a knitting website took a stand on white supremacy. Okay, well, what is going on here? Just that headline, you're like, what? What is this? All right. So let's take a look at what's going on here. And this is from a little bit ago. This is from June. Revelry, a knitting forum that boasts over 8 million users, says hate won't be tolerated on its site anymore. When you think of a knitting community, you might envision an elderly woman sitting, okay, blah, blah, blah. Revelry is a website where both millennials and knitting grannies, meet to talk about knitting, crocheting, weaving, and other craft and fabric arts. But if you plan to crochet a MAGA hat or knit a Trump sweater, think twice about posting it on Revelry. The forum-style website, which is often described as Facebook for knitters, recently issued a statement that they would ban open support of Donald Trump on their site. Wow. The widely publicized move suggests that even communities that aren't seen as specifically political, like knitters, are becoming politicized, sometimes in toxic ways. Though observing the politics of knitting social network might seem niche, Revelry is incredibly popular with over 8 million users. Okay. So I'll be honest. I am no Trump fan. I do not like Donald Trump at all. And that's an understatement. I think he's absolutely repulsive. And I think that the policies he stands for are absolutely repulsive. What are his policies, by the way? Republican policies. He is the GOP. He's the GOP unmasked. The rest of the GOP, they talk nicer. But anyway, but I gotta say, I'm not for this. I'm not for a knitting website banning political speech that's trying to be creative.